Alright, so in the previous video I've done these first 3 transactions and we've got 3 more to go. So the first one, June 5, Jim of Elvis Merchandise issues a credit memorandum of $40 to Jackson Company for damaged merchandise. Something happened, maybe you probably had the best of intentions, but something was wrong with the merchandise sold to Jackson Company. So Jim's going to issue him a credit memorandum. Now, if this were a cash transaction, Jim would just give him cash back. But since this is an accounts receivable transaction, Jim's going to do something different. He's going to give him what's called a credit memorandum, and we'll see why he calls it that very shortly here. First of all, right now, according to our T accounts, remember this is from transaction, let me see your transaction B, where this is the amount that Jim owes us. However, now he doesn't owe us that money. We're going to say, you know, you don't owe, some of that was damaged, you don't owe us 40 bucks. So now I need to credit that amount to accounts receivable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to credit your accounts receivable account. This will be transaction D. I'm going to give you a credit of $40. Now you don't owe me that money. Before I said you owed me $357. Now you only owe me $317. That's the difference between the $357. I'll subtract out the 40, and that's what I get. You owe me less money now. And so that's a way of doing a credit memorandum. However, I need to debit this to another account, and I'm going to debit it to sales, returns, and allowances. This is the account I'm going to use. Get that so that it looks nice. Sales, returns, and allowances. You owe me less money. So let me come back here to the income statement. You've noticed here on the income statement I've got sales of this amount, and then I've got sales, returns, and allowances of this amount here in my revenue section. Notice I've got the sales, here's my sales, and then I'm going to subtract this from this amount on the income statement. This sales return and allowances is a type of account that we haven't really seen before. It's what's called a contra revenue account. Sales returns and allowances is what's called a contra revenue account. That's the kind of account it is. We were saying sales is a revenue account. Sales is a revenue account. Sales returns and allowances is a contra revenue account. That means that when I get to the income statement, yes, I've got my sales, but I'm going to subtract it from this sales account, and you can see that happening here. There's 4,500, subtract 250, subtract this amount here, and so my net sales are this amount here. It's a way of adjusting gross sales to net sales. That's how that works. So in my T accounts, go back to my T accounts real quick here. Somehow there they are. I've got sales, returns, and allowances. I've credited accounts receivable. That's what the credit memorandum means. And then I'm going to debit sales, returns, and allowances, because the more sales, returns, and allowances I have, the bigger this account is going to be. If I have, if all of that merchandise was returned, if I had $340 worth of returned merchandise, this would go up by that amount. So that's how sales, returns, and allowances works. And so now I need to go ahead and record this on the general journal. So find T accounts once again. There they are. My debit is going to be sales returns and allowances. This is, I believe, on the 5th. Yep, there it is. On the 5th. This is the account I'm debiting. I'm debiting it for $40. And then my credit is going to be to accounts receivable. Also for $40. And then I'm going to put in a memo here. Credit memorandum to Jackson Company for damaged merchandise. I'll have to wrap that one, abbreviate, and then wrap that line there. These descriptions are getting a little bit lengthy. So there's that transaction. We're done with this transaction on the 5th. And I think I'll stop the video here, and then for the next one I'll work on the rest of them.